Hey family, good morning, happy Wednesday. Welcome to another episode of Island Girl with me. I'm just gonna update you guys on everything I've been doing since the last time we spoke. So last time we spoke was on Saturday. On Saturday I met up with my family and at Teaneck Park, which is maybe like 8 minutes away from me. And so we took the kids over there because it was a hot day and the big kids got wet. My nephew Max wasn't messing with the sprinklers. He wasn't with it. But he enjoyed being on the grass and everything. And so we pretty much had like a picnic and we threw a blanket and we took some beach chairs and we were under a tree. It was so beautiful. There was like a little breeze sometimes. And so we stayed there for like got there like at 2:30, 3 o'clock, and we stayed there almost till 7. So like a good 5 hours or 7:30. We hung out, just laughed. And then like cousins, like it was me, my sister, my brother, and Jada. Jada lives in Jersey too, but which is one of our best friends, she lives like 30 minutes away or 25 minutes. So it was us there, and then my cousins started trickling in, so it was beautiful. We got to hang out and catch up. I hadn't seen them all since New Year's, the last time I saw them, and it was awesome. And then we're there like planning, because I had told them like, guys, let's do New Year's in DR this year, because I've come back every New Year's since we left, and prior to leaving, we used to host our New Year's. That's like the big party. The big family party is New Year's, because Christmas, we have so many. Our family is so large. My mom's side, remember, there's 8 siblings, and so every sibling has multiple kids. Only one sibling had one child. The rest had more than two or more. And so every sibling has kids, and then the kids have kids, right? So I'm one of the kids. I'm one of the kids of the kids, right? And so I have 2 kids. My sister has 1, my brother. So just my mom's like little branch of the family. And then with our spouses also, it's like 10 of us. And so, yeah, it's harder to get everybody together for Christmas. So everybody does their own Christmas individually, like with the grandmas and all that stuff. And then for New Year's, we all get together. And so I host that. And it's a beautiful party. It's so nice. All the kids, everybody's dressed up. And the cousins do mad shots and everybody dances. And we film everything. And like, it's beautiful. It was one New Year's that 12 o'clock came and went, and it was like 12:05, and we're like, shit, I think it was this year. We were like, shit, it's already 12 o'clock, so then we faked it, and since we streamed the thing, the countdown, it was a little bit slow, so we got to still do it, but it was already 12, so it was really funny. And yeah, so that was that. So we were planning. So I've been telling them, let's do it in DR. And so we're supposedly most of us are going to go to DR for New Year's. A few of us can't because of work. But the ones that can are going to try to make it to DR for New Year's. And we'll like rent a nice space for it and everything. So that'll be really fun because almost nobody has experienced a New Year's in DR. Me and my sister, me and Joha, we actually went to DR 2010 when Nathan was just a baby. He was like 10 months old. And that was our first Christmas and New Year's in DR. And it was pretty cool. But again, the kids were little and stuff. And I don't know if we did it again. I think we might have done it again in 2011. I don't remember. But we definitely did in 2010. And then after that, we've spent every Christmas and New Year's here. And so, yeah, this is our first New Year's in DR in a long time. So it'll be nice. And then in DR, usually on January 1st, the tradition is to go to the beach. So imagine that after this big-ass party, then we all go to the beach the next day. That would be epic. Fucking hungover en la playa, bebiendo agua de coco y vaina. Anyways. So that was Saturday. And then Sunday, what do we do on Sunday? Oh, Sunday we went to Jada's house. Jada invited us for a barbecue. We went over there. Maria, my sister-in-law, had to work, so Kenny went with the baby alone. and we spent a great time. We were helping him with the baby. He doesn't really love us carrying him, so we would have to like lure him to us. But then eventually he wants his daddy again. But we had a great time. We're there like planning karaoke nights and things like that, and silly things. Great time. And then Monday, I don't remember what we did on Monday, but then Tuesday, yesterday, I went to, Monday. Monday I met up with my classmates, my friends from Manhattan Center. So from 2000 to 2004, I went to high school in the East Side, East New York. It was called Manhattan Center for Math and Science. It was a very prestigious school, actually. I didn't know about it too much. I actually went there because one of my friends from junior high school, Suhaiti, was going there because her brother went there. And that's the only reason why I went there. Because I didn't want to go to my zone school, which was George Washington, because it was like bad. And I didn't want to go to the bad school. And I was like a little nerd. And I didn't want to go there because I was going to see everybody from the area. And so I ended up going to the school where my friend was going. And it was pretty good. It was a really good school. We had a great experience. A lot of the smart kids from 143, the junior high school we went to, a lot of the smart kids went there to Manhattan Center. And then the other kids that weren't too much into school, they went to zone school. Or it was more close, it was just like a walk to school versus like I had to troop to the East Side. I used to take the 98 bus, which wasn't bad. It was like a 40 minute ride with traffic. And then I had to walk from Lexington to Pleasant Ave where the school was. So it was like an hour commute. When my mom had no idea where it was located, right? So when you're in junior high, you do this like application and you put, I think like 7 or 8 high schools that you want to go get into, that you want to apply to. And so, you get your acceptances from them and then you decide where to go. So I chose Manhattan Center. My mom had no idea where it was. And then like the weekend before school was about to start, right? So 8th grade, the summer after 8th grade, my mom goes with me and my sisters. And I think my brother was already born. Yeah, he was born already. So she went with all of us to the East Side to see where that school was. She's like, no, tú no puedes venir para esta escuela. No, porque tú tienes que coger el tren, la guagua, this and that, and it's dangerous around here. Y esto está muy lejos, and back then we didn't have cell phones or anything, so like I'd be stuck over there. Y she's like, no, tú vas para George Washington, ya, olvida eso. Yo te voy a sacar tú no vas a ir aquí. I'm like, Mom, but I'm going to go with my friend. Let me try it out first. Let me see, Suhaiti goes, brother goes here, so we'll come with him and it's going to be fine. Let me try it out. If I don't like it, then we switch to G-Dubs. And so that's exactly what we did. I went to Suhaiti's, met with her, and then we took the bus and the train and did all that with her brother. And then after that, I found the easier way to go and it was fine. It was a great school. And so, on Monday, I met up with a few of them because some of them are away on vacation. There's one that's in Germany. Another one is in Hawaii, Suhaiti. And some of them had surgery and all that, but Julie came, which I'm so happy. I'll talk about that. But yeah, so we met up because also one of our friends that went to high school with us and also went to junior high school with us, Diosman. So he came back from Dubai. And so we wanted to like all link up because we hadn't seen him. Well, I hadn't seen him since high school ended. So 2004, right? 22 years. And we lived in the same neighborhood, but eventually he like started working in like cruise ships and stuff. And then eventually he moved to Dubai. And so he lives over there. And so we met up, right? It was 5 of us. And it was so nice. Valkyria, who has a podcast that I love, her podcast, with another high school friend of ours, Kelly. Their podcast is called Talk That Talk, and I tune in every time they put an episode. It's so good. And so Julie came too, and I was so happy. I didn't think she was gonna come because Julie, my best friend, she recently just had breast surgery, right? So she's recovered from breast cancer. She did chemo and all that stuff, radiation, and so she needed to do the reconstructive surgery of her breast, and so it was actually done on the 23rd, which was on the day that I arrived here. And so she's fresh from surgery, and she has a super huge wound from here to here because they took skin from here and fat to reconstruct the breast, so it's more natural and there's no chance of rejection, because it's your own skin and body fat. And so she's has a huge wound, right? So I didn't know she had that huge wound. I thought it was like a smaller thing, and she was actually in surgery for 8 hours. That's insane. Oh my gosh. But anyways, so she texted me like around 1, because we have a chat where like the high school girls, we're always like checking in and like, hey, I'm coming, when can we meet up? Or like, hey, well, let's do this and that. So we have a chat, and so I've been writing like, hey, let's get together, da da da. And she hadn't really responded, so I didn't think she was gonna come. And then she hits me up like at 1, and she's like, hey, what time is the meetup? And I was like, oh my God, Julie's gonna make it. And then I was like 4 o'clock, and she's like, you come pick me up. And I was like, of course, that would be my pleasure. I told her, I was like, I would carry you there. Like, if you need me to carry you, I'll carry you to the place. Like, I really want you to come, and I want to see you. And so, yeah, so I went up, I picked her up, I saw her family, her daughter had a trip, she was giving me a tour of the apartment, and I saw Alina, who just turned 15, it's crazy, these kids are getting so big, and, which is her daughter, her oldest daughter, and, so then we went to the spot, and we hung out, we talked, we laughed so much. I was feeling bad for Julie because since she has surgery here, right? Whenever you have a stomach wound, anytime you laugh or sneeze or cough, it hurts, right? And so you have to splint it. And we were laughing so much that I was like, Julie, try not to laugh because her pain. I don't want her to be in pain. So I just be like, because we were just laughing the whole time. It was such a beautiful day. It was hilarious. And we said we were going to meet up again, because we had such a good time, and so that more of the girls could join us before Dios me leaves and before I leave. So that was Monday, a boost, man. And then after that, we passed by my old block, my old building, 809, which is the area code of DR. That was my old building. I lived there from 12 years old until 2018. In 2018, we bought the house in 2017, but we took a year remodeling it, renovating it. We took all the walls down, new walls, new flooring, new kitchen, new bathrooms, everything. It was just the bones that we kept. We kept the outside, the shell. Everything else we redid. And so it took us a year because Babe was doing it with a few helpers, that we would hire. But it was mostly Babe doing all the work. He was out here fucking with no heat, just propane tank sometimes to give him a little bit of heat because there was no electricity yet and stuff. So yeah, it took us a year, and plus we didn't have the funds to do it fast. We were doing everything with credit card. So yeah. So in 2018, I moved out of 177, right? 809. And I moved to New Jersey. And prior to that, so I lived in that building from 12 to 30, 18 years. Yeah. And so I used to live in that building, right? In that apartment with my mom, my dad, and my siblings, my 3 siblings. And then when my mom moved to DR with my dad, I stayed in that apartment because I was pregnant, and I stayed with Bae, right? And my sister had already moved out because she had had her daughter 3 years before, years older than Nathan. So she lived upstairs, my sister, in the second floor. So we were still very close. We would go up and down all day. We would see each other every day. And then in the fourth floor, my cousin Sole lived there with her 3 kids. So we had family in the building. And also across from my sister on the second floor was my Uncle Edgar. He used to live there too. So it was like a lot of the family was there in that building. And so it was pretty great, even though my mom wasn't here anymore, my dad, we still had family, and we had aunts that would come and check in on us and things like that. We would go to Sole's house for like Friday Bible classes and celulas. Me and my sister literally used to go so we could go and eat the snacks. That's all they had. Legit, we'd be like, you going to cellular today? Like, yeah, let's go. The kids could play, and then we could just eat the snacks. And like be with the aunts and stuff. So it was funny, but that was the lore, like the snacks that my cousin would put out. But yeah, and then prior to living in 809, we used to live in 180, right? 180 between Amsterdam and Audubon, which is caliente. That was like the hood, because Fort Wash, Pinehurst is like, a better area, but Amsterdam, Audubon was drug city, like caliente town. And so we lived down there from, when I was a baby to 12. And then at 12, my mom got this huge apartment in 177. And so when we used to live in 180, we had a 2-bedroom apartment. It was a 3-bedroom, but it was tiny. And our uncle lived with us, so it was really like a 2-bedroom. And the apartment wasn't that big, and it was not in a great area, but it was awesome when we lived there because all of my family lived in that block too. So like my mom's younger sister, Mari, lived downstairs in the first floor with her 2 boys. And then across the street was my aunt Milagro. She lived there in the 5th floor with her 3 kids. And then eventually she had 3 grandkids from one of her daughters that lived there too. And the building next to my aunt Milagro, there was another, my third aunt, Charo. She lived there with her 3 kids on the 2nd floor. And then next to her was a cousin of my mom's. Her name was Rosemary. She lived there with her 2 kids. So it was like the whole family was there. And then everybody else who lived on the block was like our family. They were all kind of like our aunts, and all of the kids were like our cousins. So it was it was like community living. It was like actually like a village back then when we lived in 180. And then everybody started moving out, getting bigger apartments and better areas and things like that. Some people bought houses, so they left. Not from my family, but like from, one of my aunts for the house. We had already moved from there. So yeah, so that was when I used to live in 180. But anyway, so then moving forward, yesterday, I went with my sister and my niece. We went to this yoga class, and it's hot yoga, hit class in this beautiful place called Immerse, right? And it is, I don't know where it is in New Jersey. My sister drove, but it's like a good 20 minutes away from here, from my house. And it was so beautiful. It started at 7:30, from 7:30 to 8:30, but it was this like beautiful Zen location, and it had like freaking projectors all over the room. So it was very immersive. It was like nature all around. The room is kind of dark, and then it has like aroma, and it's like hot too. It's a hot yoga. It has little like candle lights on the floor. They're not really candles, but they're like candle lights. It's just beautiful. But the beauty of it really tricks you, and it's really, really like in a difficult class. Like it was a hit class, and that shit was no joke. Yeah, so that class was insane. So she has you doing cardio, right? And she has multiple circuits. So she has you doing cardio. It's like 3 rounds. Fine. I'm like, oh, this is cool. I can do this shit. Jumping jacks. Jumping jacks is cool. That's the warm up. Then after that, she does my shit, lunges with weights and squats and fucking child pose to push-ups to insane. 30 minutes in, I was like, yeah, I'm getting a little bit nauseous, but I didn't throw up or anything. I was just like, it's hot in there. Your heart rate is going crazy. You're using weights and everything. And there's not really any like resting. She'll be like, okay, 20 seconds of rest. And then that shit turns into 5 seconds. Like 20. Okay, 5 more seconds. And say, bro, hold on. And so whenever it was like that, when I was already like 30 minutes in and I was like, yo, I'm getting a little nauseous. I just took a little break, like 30 seconds, a minute. I let them do the next circuit or whatever they were doing, and then I tapped back in. And then I just continued to the end, but that shit was no joke. So much abs, so much like planks, so much everything. I woke up today and I'm fucking sore like a motherfucker. I'm so sore. Like all my muscles are sore. She had to do triceps. She had to do so much. And let's lay a little closer. And also, I was falling asleep the whole day yesterday on the couch. Like we'd be watching a movie. We watched Toy Story, and I just like fall out into sleep, and then I come back. So the whole day I was just like napping. I was exhausted. And the night before, for some reason, I woke up at 3:30, and I couldn't go back to sleep. And I had gone to sleep like at 11:30 because I've been falling asleep late here for some reason and waking up a little later. And so 3:30, I woke up and I couldn't go back to sleep. And then we had watched the Idaho murders. And so I was like a little bit scared. I was like, oh my God, are all the doors locked? And all this stuff. And then I couldn't go back to sleep. So I stayed up and I was also like worried that I was going to miss the alarm at 6:30 to get ready. Because I was going to be at my sister's house by 7. And so, anyway, so I just stayed up. And so I was trasnochada. Y después metí mano en esa clase. So then yesterday, the whole day, I was just like lounging and sleeping everywhere. Every few minutes, you just catch me sleeping. But today, I woke up at 6:30. I went to sleep like around 10. So I got my hours in. So I feel much better. And that's why I'm recording this episode, to keep catching you guys up. And so today is Wednesday. Today at 11, we have this court hearing. Airbnb is not allowed in New Jersey. And we've just been doing it anyways because we didn't want to rent the house. We didn't want to lose the house. We wanted to keep coming, in the summers and December. But the Englewood City is fucking with us, and they're like, you really can't do Airbnb here. It's not allowed. And so at 11, we have like this court hearing. We'll see what fine they give us or what they tell us. And so we are going to have to rent the house. So we're a little bit, we're going with the flow. Like I say, we have to pivot. We have to pivot all the time. Whatever pops up in your 3D reality, you can't resist. You just, what do I have to do? What is this showing me? And what it's showing us is that it's time to rent the house. We have to detach, let it go. I am trying to see if I could leave it, with people that, that'll take care of it. And also maybe I can still come back in the summer for it here, like a month, not long, few weeks. So we'll see. I'll keep you guys posted on how the court hearing went. We got a lawyer and everything. And yeah, so that's today. And then today I also want to hang out with my aunt, Milagro. I told her I would come by to see her again. I went on Monday after hanging out with my friends. I just dipped in real quick, left the car double parked, go say hi, give her a kiss and a hug, and just talk to her for like 10 minutes. And then I came back home because the car was double parked. I couldn't find parking. But I told her I will be back on Wednesday. And then Wednesday I'll go see my cousins and stuff. I also want to see Max though, so I want to see what Maria's doing. So yeah, today I got a busy day. Yesterday we went to Walmart after the workout, took a shower, and we went to Walmart. So I was falling asleep in the car too. I was like narcoleptic. I was just like everywhere, falling asleep. And so what else? Friday I have plans to meet up with my cousins, Eva, Mimi, Joha, my sister, Maria. Yeah, so we're meeting up and we're going to a restaurant here in Englewood. It's called Mezcal. So we're gonna meet up and hang out, have a girls night. I saw something online that said that there's a journal studies showing that women have to hang out with other women, right? Quality time with other women every 22 days, right? And so when you haven't done it in 22 days, like if you have 4 months that you haven't had QT with women, like time with women, I don't know how much time, you would have to do those more often than the 22 days. So I've been QTing with women, right, in DR, with Rosana and my friend Cristina. And so I've been doing that more here with my girls, like with my sister, with Maria, with Jera, with Keke and stuff, and Idalia. So it's been really nice. And Eva came on Saturday. We hung out at the park. It was nice. So yeah, Friday we're doing that, and then we have plans to go to the beach on Sunday because it's gonna be really hot. So we're probably gonna do like a cousin's day at the beach on Sunday. And that's it. And then Bay's brother and sister-in-law, Renee and Idalia, they came yesterday from Mexico, so they're probably gonna come over here one of these days. We can have a sleepover in my house. It'd be really nice. So we're looking forward to that. We've been counting the days so they came back, even though they've had a great trip. And so we're gonna do that, sleepover, and that's it. The days are getting towards the end. We still have a lot of time. Today's the 5th and we leave on the 18th, 13 days. We have 2 weeks till we leave. We've been working on the attic, sorting things. What else? And yeah, things like that. That's it. That has been my time here. It's been amazing. It's been a great time. It's been exactly what I wanted to do when I got here. I wanted to just love on my people and spend quality time and fill them up with love, give them their flowers, tell them how amazing they're doing, raising their kids or their new job. My brother just started a new job, and just touching base, seeing where they're at, where's their energy, how they feeling, what are they dealing with right now, what are some of the things that are coming up for them in the Saturn retrograde, what are some of the things that's popping up for them in their 3D reality that they need to review, review, reflect, revise, what are some of the things that's coming up for them to pivot, for them to choose differently. So it's been nice to be here and have these, deep conversations and laugh and talk about the past. And it's crazy because we're literally in our 40s. I'm turning 40 this year, but we're literally in our 40s, most of us. And we're in really midlife, It's like our time of being young has gone. And our kids are coming up now. KK's 19, my niece. And it's their time now. And a lot of us are getting a second wind, right? We are getting our second rebirth now in our 40s. Like this. We're reinventing ourselves. My sister, now that her daughter went to college, she's going to all these classes and she's becoming this new woman. She signed up for High Rocks with her husband, and High Rocks is really difficult. And so they're having a High Rocks competition in October. And so a lot of people are reinventing themselves, which is beautiful. You know, after having kids and careers and everything, we're like tapping into things that we like, and like writing books and just like learning who we are under all these roles that we've had to take on as moms, as, you know, wives, as professional women, and men too. And so it's beautiful to see it. You know, everybody's kind of like doing what they wanted to do, or like what they maybe couldn't do before because they were busy or they didn't have the funds. And now we have the funds. You know, we have the funds, we have the time, the kids are bigger. And so we're tapping into all these different avenues that we didn't tap into before. And we're being more creative and all that stuff. And it's really beautiful to see. But at the same time, we look at pictures like of us clubbing. That was 20 years ago. You know, we look at like even that, like getting together with our friends. We graduated from high school 22 years ago. That's crazy. Time flew. Like, what the fuck were we doing? I mean, many of us were raising kids, Nathan's 16. But yeah, time flew. And it's so important to create these memories and also to record these things and take pictures, you know, because you're going to want to see yourself. You're going to want to see your kids little, whoever's kids are so small. You're going to want to see your parents alive and talking, you know. So it's really important to capture these moments. And I know that a lot of people say, no, just be in the moment. And then the minute you take the camera out, you're not in the moment, but you're still in the moment. What I do is I record like this. So I'm watching it, but I'm capturing it. You know, I'm recording low. So I'm not like watching it through here. I'm like here. I'm like, oh, it's good. Okay, cool. I'm recording. I'm still enjoying it. I'm in the moment, but I'm capturing it. You know, I'm capturing it for myself, for my kids, you know, so that years later, this is footage that I have that I can look back on when my parents are not here anymore, or when Max is a teenager and I have all these videos of him being one, you know. It's beautiful. Or when my kids are out of my house. Excuse me. But yeah, so that's been my week. It's been amazing. I'm gonna, now that I got some rest, because I've been going, you know, doing a lot. I got my rest yesterday. And after this court meeting at 11, I'm gonna focus more on book 2, because I still have a few days. I'm off next week, Monday, Tuesday also. Focus more on putting book 2 into the Microsoft Word. I was saying, I have one already because I had started it, but just adding the Instagram stuff that I write that are really, the captions are the book. And so that, book 2. And then I also want to turn book 1 into an audiobook. So that's another thing that I want to do. I don't know if I'm going to have the time to do it here. Might have to do it back in the DR when we leave. I also have to, when we get back, we're moving to another place, like I said. So I have to make sure I get like curtains and cute rugs that we want and stuff like that, because this new place is not furnished, which I'm excited about, because it's going to have our own personality, and, you know, it's going to have our own things in it, our own taste, boho chic, cutie teens. And since we're going to have to rent a house, we're going to end up taking a lot of the things that we love from here. Like this light fixture we have here that's blue. I forgot what it says, but it's really cool. And a lot of like the paintings that we bought for, like this one, for the Airbnb, we can take them. We can take them, you know. We'll probably come back. We're going to come back most probably for Thanksgiving. So when we come back, we'll just box up a lot of things that we like. We can't yet because we can't yet because we have a few Airbnb bookings till December. We're not putting it back on the site, but they're already booked, so we have to see this through. But once December ends, we can take whatever we want with us and furnish our home over there. And that's it. I guess this is a pretty long episode. It was just like catching you up on what I've been doing and what's popping up for me in my reality, right? This core hearing. But it's okay. God got me always. I'm not worried at all. And whatever it is, whatever fine it is, we'll pay it. It be what it be. And that's it. There's more quality time with family, more feeding myself with love and quality time with my people, and working out, making more of these episodes where people could see me more and what I'm going through and me actually explaining things versus like just seeing, you know, my life on IG. When I get to like talk about it, then you can actually see, you know, what my version of this is, you know, because everybody sees life through their lens and they project whatever they think. And so when you hear me give you my version of my life and what I'm going through, then you get a different perspective. You see it from my lens, and that's what I'm doing. And again, the reason why I'm recording this episode, this podcast, not just the episode, but the podcast, is like so I can have a virtual like proof that I was here, right? And not just that I was here, like but for my kids, because a lot of this stuff they don't care about right now, like all the spiritual stuff and all this like generational cycles that I broke, you know, all the ways who I was before I had them, all this stuff like the people pleaser and the self-sacrificer and all these boxes I was checking because I thought that I had to follow the scripts, right? And then one day in like 2018, I was like, what the fuck? Like, I'm not happy. I have everything. I checked all the boxes and I still have like a void in me. Right, and so all these things my kids will appreciate one day when they're adults, right? And so this is my virtual diary for them. They can see me and they can, who knows how long I'm going to live. Maybe I won't be able to share these things with them. Maybe we won't have the time. Hopefully we do. Hopefully I can share these with them. And this is just like a place where I live when I'm not, where they can see me when I'm no longer here physically, because energy cannot be destroyed. It just goes on, right? And so when my physical body leaves this earth, I won't be gone. I'll still be here, but just you can't see me. And so yeah, that's it. And so I'm gonna recommend that all of you guys who still have your parents alive or your aunts and your elders to take videos of them, take videos with them and of them. Ask them who they were before they had kids. You know, what were their childhood dreams? What was it like living in their households with their parents? How were their parents? Did they describe their parents for you? Can you see, you get a picture of who they became like, you know, what was the hardest things they went through? How did that impact them? My mom's dad had pancreatic cancer when she was 15, and she was the one who was taking care of him, right? She tells me about when he was so thirsty and he couldn't really drink water, so they would just wet his lips with ice. Imagine you being 15 and your dad's dying and you're taking care of him and watching him wither away, you know? It's tough. And then, yeah, ask them these things, you know, because those stories live inside them still. And it's nice not only for them to tell you so you can know more about them, but so they could come out, you know. A lot of those stories and a lot of those truths are left unsaid. and it's healing for them to say these things out loud. And if they watch the video even more, they get to see like, damn, Look at all I've done. Look at what I made of my life, even with all those tragedies and all those difficulties and stuff like that. So yeah, and the reason why I did decided to record my mom with that interview was because Vay had done it with his dad, and he did it with his mom, like just asking them questions and recording them. I don't know if the questions were like mine, I had specific ones because I know so much about her life once we were born. Like I know when my dad was locked up. My dad was locked up for 3 years. I know all that. She's talked to me about it and how she felt and how depressed she was, and that it was on the same year that my grandma died. My mom was 30 with 3 kids, 3 daughters, and her husband got locked up. And then for drugs, for selling drugs, because coming from DR to work fucking minimum wage jobs when you have a career in DR, and also not seeing that you can make it with that minimum wage job or that factory job, that's the only thing that's available for you. Fuck that, I would have done the same. Too bad he got caught. But anyways, so yeah, like my mom's told us about her life after we were born, like the reason why she went back to school, like the reason why she learned English, right? She told us that she was on welfare, and welfare was paying them to take classes, and one of the classes was an English class, and then the teacher was like, you know what, women who have kids here, like your daughters will, or your daughters will copy you, right? And so if you're in the system, your daughters will be in the system. And so if you want to raise daughters that are not receiving public assistance and that, are professionals and stuff, then you need to do it for yourself. And so she heard that teacher say that, and then she took it seriously. She learned English, her best. She went to City College. She graduated with a degree from social work at City College. It took her 5 years to get her bachelor's. And then she became a case manager in the mental health field. And that's all with having 4 kids. She already had my brother. So she had 4 kids. She had 3 kids when she went back to school. And I think when she finished school, she was already either pregnant with my brother or she had him. So she had 4 kids when she finished college. So there's no excuse. She came from DR, didn't know the language, and she still went to college. She got her degree with 4 kids. Her mom had died already, so she had all that trauma. Her mom and her dad had died. Her husband had been in jail for 3 years. So all this stuff, and she still did it, right? And so yeah, she had already shared all these stories with us and told. So yeah, my mom, we already knew her life from once we were born. She's told us all that, but I didn't know who she was prior to that. Like she's told us here and there, growing up as a child, one of 8 kids, and poor and all that, and her dad being the only provider, and her mom just having kids all the time because back then la gente no se cuidaba and all that. And then her being shipped to the campo when sometimes with her 2 younger siblings, and how she would cry all the time because she missed her mom and she didn't understand why they used to ship her over there. Like she's told us some of those things, but these questions that I asked her, it was like things that I wanted to know about her before we met, like before she had us, and like when she met my dad, and what did she think, and when did it become when did it change from being friends to like he's my boyfriend and their wedding and all that stuff. So that was all important to me. And I'm happy that I have it on camera. And after watching it, I already have more questions for her. So I'm gonna see if I could do a part 2. And I also would love to do it with some of my aunts, but we'll see. So yeah, maybe in DR when they go in December, I could grab them for like an hour, 30 minutes with the camera, set it up, and record them, ask them questions, just so that their kids and their grandkids can see and get more about them that they haven't really sat down and asked them. Because so many stories, so much wisdom lives in these old people, you know. So yeah, that's it for me. Have a beautiful day. I ran out of storage, so I had to delete Netflix real quick to be able to record this last bit. I love y'all. Have a beautiful day.